lastly, you've mentioned it a few times, and I want to talk about it because she did go viral a wee bit during last year's Six Nations.
Okay.
Mama CB, she went viral a wee bit.
Oh,
Did you know?
the angel. Yeah.
Yeah. How is it? How is it when your mum's getting? I was going to say like when your mum's getting brought up in all these circles with famous people, and then you've got Maggie Alfonsi tweeting, retweeting. Was it Nick when you're seeing your name and like your mum's face and your mum's name being thrown into these circles on Twitter? You're like, something's changed right now.
It's no, it just feels so weird, because like, I mean, it is insane, like, having all of that like blow up. But you almost feel like you're also a viewer to it. Like, I
Like it's
mean,
not really your mom.
yeah, like, well, I mean, nothing's different with me. You know what I mean? Like, it is crazy. Like that tweet had like insane amount of engagements and retweets, whatever. And obviously, like people talk about it and know who my mom is, that's the weird part. It's like you don't know Deb. Like, stop. But
It's
I mean,
my mom, not your mom. Yes.
yeah, like, but I'm glad that everybody knows her because she's genuinely like the best person of all time. But yeah, it just kind of feels like you're watching it like in the third person because like nothing's really different, like you blow up with one tweet. But then like you still, I don't know, walk to the grocery store, nothing's changed, like you're not all of a sudden this like famous person. But yeah, I mean my mom is famous and I hope one day that I can get her autograph. So
Has your mum been recruited by TikTok for Six Nations yet? Is she
oh
going to
my
be one of the
god,
people doing that?
no way. Like
You
she
can have
only
that one for free, TikTok. You comment the podcast and you can have that one for free.
yeah. Yeah, okay. If I manage to somehow get her on TikTok, I don't even know what would happen. But she just only recently got Instagram, and I don't think she doesn't really know how to use it. She only has it so she can like look at my stories.
That's
So
actually such a mum and dad thing.
yeah, like she's so sweet. She's like, because I'll tell her about Instagram, and I've told her to get it before. Because I'm like, that's where I post all my pictures, like that. Because I'll like post a picture or something on Instagram, and then I'll also just send it to her via WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But then she wants to just see it as it happens. So she's only recently got Instagram, but like I don't think she knows that she can post things too. Like she's not that great at social media, and because like no one's shown her how to use it, yeah. So that might be a project if I get to go home in the summer and see her, then we can work on. But yeah,
Get your mum social media trained. Just
yeah,
I
yeah.
reckon Mama CB's Instagram would take off. Like
I
as long
agree.
as she doesn't do what the mum thing is, which is just take a photo there and then, like not aim it, angle it, and just take the phone and go, there you go. Because then
Okay, well that is exactly her brand. So
live action. There's no fakeness on Mama CB's Instagram profile.
yeah, exactly. No filters, no
Yeah.
fake. It's exactly what
Live,
it is.
loud, and in charge. Just
Yeah.
get that as the bio. That
Yeah.
sounds something cringy. That sounds like live, laugh, love. Oh, that's I feel a bit ill saying that.
Yeah.
So, lastly, I want to talk about CB. You spoke about how you were quite shy and anxious when you were growing up, and that. How do you maintain such a positive outlook on life? Because it's generally quite inspiring. I think I tweeted you as a massive fanboy a couple of years ago and saying, like be more like CB because it's very positive. So, how do you manage to keep that sort of attitude?
I think practice, honestly. Like I think it is very easy to allow yourself to feel beaten up sometimes, and sometimes that's how you have to feel. Like it's super easy to say that I am super positive and feel good all the time, but as an anxious person, although most of the time I am this person that you see here now and are talking to, that anxiety doesn't just go away. Like that is what it is. So there are still definitely days where you kind of feel it creep up on you and it's a crap day. Like you just feel tired, you feel run down, you don't really want to engage with anyone. You don't want to participate in conversations. You just kind of want to sleep. And that's just like what anxiety is for me. Like that's how it presents itself in me. And sometimes it also means that I'm overthinking a lot of things. Like I can feel this like wheel nonstop turning. But I think as I've gotten older, I've understood that that's just sort of a part of who I am. And when it happens, acknowledging that it's okay to feel like that and it will pass. But there are also times where it is super easy to have a situation happen and immediately want to take like the more negative route around it, like, or how you see it. But I just think like the energy that you spend on feeling shit or talking poorly about yourself or about your situation or whatever it is, like that's also energy that you could be using to shift that dialogue in your brain, like when it comes to injury or when it comes to opportunity or when it comes to your job or your life or whatever. Like, I think also because I talk about this with my clients all the time, that's my dialogue. Like, so I'm lucky because I am talking about it all the time. So I'm more frequently talking about how to shift your brain into being more positive than to be negative. So that's like what I have going on all the time. But I just think like if you take something like maybe you have like a knee injury or something, you still have a working leg and two arms and you can still do so many things. Like just because you've got one negative setback doesn't mean your entire life is closing on you. So I just think like it is a practice, like, but it's also recognizing that there are going to be like shit days as well and allowing that to happen and not like beating yourself up about it because life is a journey, like, and that sounds like super hippie or whatever, but like that is what it is. Like no one is going to run at 100 all the time. So being able to like take your foot off the gas and like sit in your feelings sometimes is super important because it means that you can feel the lows when you need to, but you also can kick yourself in the butt if you need to like get yourself out of the slump. And like also obviously having like people around you that do lift you up on those days as well is super important. But I think like having a positive outlook on life and feeling the way that I do 95% of the time comes from actively practicing choosing to be like this because it's just as easy to feel shit if I wanted to.
I don't think anybody could have put that better. That was genuinely really inspiring.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing that. That was really inspiring, and I hope somebody listens to that and can take it and put it into practice.
Yeah, it is. It's just a practice.
It is. Well, ending on that inspirational note, you've now conquered the main body of the podcast. So hopefully that this car crash of a podcast wasn't too stressful for you.
No, all good. I've had fun.
Good. I'm glad. Well, you might not after this next one. Speaking of car crashes, you have now reached the soon-to-be famous Under the Team Bus section. Maybe copyright from other shows, but we don't talk about that. If we don't tag them, they never know.
Okay.
So, similar to the quick fires, first name that comes into your head. So I'm going to ask you a question, and you pick the first teammate that you think of. Okay. So nice and easy to start off with. Who's the most determined player you've ever played with?
I actually thought Rachel Malcolm was the first person that came into my brain. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But then I was going to overthink it, but that's the first name, and I stand by that. She is very determined.
Exactly. El Capitano leads from the front.
Yeah, totally.
Right. Who's the biggest practical joker in the changing room?
Oh my God. I would say either Louise McMillan or Rona Lloyd. And they were roomies one time, and they're the worst influence and the best influence for each other. But I love them both.
I think Hannah said Louise McMillan, so there must be some. There's no smoke without fire.
I think she's the youngest sibling, and it shows. She's a little Indian, but I love her.
At least you're honest. Who's the most clumsy? Who's the most clumsy person in the squad?
Nellie. Oh my God, Nellie. And I only noticed this since I've lived with her in Loughborough. She is like, for being such a talented athlete, she literally is the most clumsy person. The other day when I was down in Loughborough, she tripped over the wall and fell over, and like I genuinely think she almost got a concussion.
Did you say tripped over a wall?
Yeah, it was like a small wall,
right,
like, in a backyard.
Right. You should have prefaced that. I was like,
yeah. Just these really big steps. No, probably Nellie. That's only something I've recently noticed.
Right. Who is most up for a night out?
Probably me.
I was gonna say you can't say yourself after your big night out.
Then Mary McDonald, I think. Like, fair. Yeah, it wouldn't take much to get her out.
I think the young guns will come and take over soon, though. They seem like
they're fair. Yeah, they do love a night out as well.
Right. Who's got the most out there fashion sense? Who comes up in the wildest bits of kit, and you think, where did you get that?
Maybe it's not wild, but I think the first person I thought of would be like Evie Wills, and it's not like bits of kit at training, but like when we go on nights out. Because she is a young gun. Maybe I just don't understand fashion anymore. She always looks great, but I'm like, these are things that I would have never thought of. So
what we talking? What wild?
I don't know if it's even wild, but it's like our fashion sense is obviously
just combos, just different combos.
Yeah. I mean, she looks great. Yeah.
Fair. Who is the best dancer in the squad?
Who is the best? Jenny Maxwell.
Can she cut
Definitely.
shapes?
Yeah, she can cut some shapes.
Nice. And vice versa, who's the worst dancer in the squad? Who's the person that you wish didn't cut shapes? / kind of want them to cut shapes because it's hilarious to watch.
Jade Conkle. She's not actually, but it's funny to roast her. So Jade.
Yeah, you can't. I know Emma Wassell's just to get a jail free answer now because everybody said that in season 1. So
yeah,
I'll push you for an answer in case you're not being truthful. Who's the future coach? Who's somebody that you just think they love rugby so much that they will be a coach before the day is done?
I don't think that they'll actually be a coach before the day is done, but I think that they would be a really good coach, and it would be Sarah Law. I think she's got like so much to offer in terms of like experience and like just how like she just knows so much. Like every conversation I have with her, I always learn something. So her or Nelly, which is classic because they're both like 10s. But yeah, either of them.
It's a good answer, though. It's a great answer. Who is hard as nails? Who's somebody, if you were to get in a fight in a rugby pitch, you're like, I hope they're standing behind me when I throw this first punch?
Evie Gallagher.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she, well, I feel like Gal would have my back. Yeah.
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 There we go. Okay, so following on from that, who's the most natural athlete you've ever played against? Like, who's somebody that's just like, you're a machine? Like, maybe not the best rugby player, but just a brick shithouse.
Well, do you mean brick shithouse or do you mean just athlete? Because like the first, like,
well,
Rona
okay,
is obviously like an insane athlete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how does someone run that fast? I will never know. But I guess so for backs, I would say Rona. For forwards, I would say, honestly, like maybe Rachel McLaughlin because she's small, but Gal can like dump some people. You know what I mean?
That was my answer when I always write every question with an expected answer to see if it's a good question or not, and that came up.
Yeah.
So, God, we look at us. We know rugby, don't we?
Yeah.
Right. Who is the most gullible in the squad? Who would fall for any prank?
Rona Lloyd, easily. Oh my God. Sometimes
you answered that so fast.
Sometimes I try to have like a little bit of banter, and then I have to remind her I'm just kidding. It's just easy.
Oh, that's almost a shame of that, but you kind of feel bad. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
I would say Rona Lloyd or Tyrone. He's also very easy to wind up, and like
Tyrone with the glass hamstrings.
Yeah. Yeah, the broken back.
Yeah, broken back. Spike ball's a dangerous game. Never mind rugby.
It is.
Right. This one I've thought of especially for you. Who had the toughest accent to understand when you first started to get to grips with Scottish
accents? It's going to be either the girls, well, I mean, any of the girls from the Borders. So it'd be Lana or Chloe. Tomo is fine. Tomo I can understand more, but like I remember when first meeting like Lana and Chloe, I was like, I don't know what you're saying. So
Chloe's white, isn't she? She's white. Yeah, Chloe's white. Lana's Melrose?
I think
I've
so.
no idea. It sounds a bit weird that I think somewhere I'm in the posh part. You're
I think she might be white as well, but that I might be lying. I just know she's one of the border folk. So
we just put them down there. We just keep them down there. Right. Who is the human turnstile? Who can't tackle for love nor money?
Who can't tackle? Who can't tackle for love?
Yeah, who can't tackle for love nor money?
I don't know. Who can't tackle for love nor money?
Not in like a mean way, but in like
no, I don't know. I don't know because I feel like our tackles we've been hitting like 90%. So
that must make you feel really guilty as the person that misses a tackle when you're bringing that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I don't know. Can I skip? I feel like we're like
I'll give you a skip. You've had some good answers. I'll give you a skip.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Thank you.
Right. Second last one. Who is most likely to order plain at spice level at Nando's? Who can't handle their spice?
Lana.
Really?
Yay!
It's a thing.
Yeah. Lana loves a plain.
You need to educate on that. Get the lemon in her.
I've been trying. We're working on it.
She's getting there. We'll get.
Yeah.
Right, and last but not least, who hogs the mirror the most after a game if they know they've got a nice interview with Sky Sports or Scotland Rugby?
Emma Wassell.
Hey, that's bad. That is now 4 for 4 on answers for that question with Emma Wassell. That is literally 4 for 4.
Then you know we're telling the truth.
Well, I feel bad, Emma. I think you're sound like you're fine. I need to get.
She's lovely. She absolutely is. But Gal knows what she wants, so it's fine.
Poor girl. She tries so hard.
Oh.
I said it's because she puts her body on the line. So
yeah, totally has to cover the black eye.
That's what mascara is for.
Exactly.
just run a smoky eye number and then you're fine. Just play it
You
off.
get it. You totally get it.
See.
Yeah.
I'm. What's the word? I'm not an athlete. I'm an affiliate. No, that's the word. I forgot the word.
A master of aesthetic.
Cut it. Yeah, cut it. Makeup artist, MUA, Sam Matthews, open for business. God. Right. Well, you've passed under the team bus. Hopefully, you've not lost any friends in the group chat, and then you might get a few questions on this day going, "Most gullible? Really?" Question mark.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, "No, it's a joke. It wasn't really you." And we just put it in there. Right. So, CV, before I let you get on with your evening, because I've taken up so much of your time, and I can't thank you enough for coming on. Last question. You've just got to the World Cup. You've just had your first big win. You've got 3 songs to get the team ready for another big 17-hour long drinking session. What 3 songs are you picking and why?
So, first song would probably be Run the World by Beyonce, because obviously a bit of
Power anthem, yeah.
It's a power anthem. You get it, totally. So that's an easy one. Another one is just one of my personal favorites that I know could get the Glasgows especially hype. So it'd be X Gon' Give It To You by DMX. That is a song that has been played on repeat in the mornings, and it's just like obviously loud music. Sometimes that's just the energy you need. And then the last one, it's called Rinse and Repeat. It's like a Heads Will Roll remix.
Right.
But you can only get it on SoundCloud. Rachel McLaughlin showed it to me like a year ago, and it is next level. So those are my 3.
Anytime you're going on SoundCloud for remixes, you sound like you're going for a big night out.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where like obviously you've got like the Spotify playlist going, and then that's the one song that you want, so you have to actually flip apps, which is a pain in the ass, because you have to like watch when it's going to finish, so there's no gap in sound, but it's worth it every time.
Absolutely. Well, that is a cracking way to end the podcast. 3 great songs to follow that question. CV, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you on social media to keep up to you with all your adventures?
So I've got 2 Instagram pages. My personal one is itme.cb, and then my business page is Strong Friends Club. Those are probably the 2 easiest ways to find me. I only really show up on Twitter when rugby's going on, and I tweet weird pictures that have been taken of me from training, so that can sometimes be banter. And then I just recently got TikTok. I think my handle is the same, itme.cb or something along those lines. And I sometimes show up there, but Instagram is my go-to. So check me out there.
Amazing. Well, all links will be down in the top of the description for the videos and on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all the usual. People are coming to the end of the podcast. Thank you very, very much. As usual, please leave us a like rating, give it a thumbs up, 5-star reviews, the works. They all help my podcast so much more. The support on season 1 was genuinely mind-blowing for some kids sat in his bedroom trying to pass lockdown time. But now, thank you guys for helping me grow what it's grown into. Like I said, leave the likes through that. If you're going to be mean on social media, I really don't care that much. It doesn't get under my skin. Just be nice. Constructive feedback is always welcome. I always want to know how I can improve. For example, I got rid of the bed in the background. We now have a wall, so we're getting there. Everybody, thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you guys all again next week with another episode. CV, thank you very much. Bye.